Giraffes evolved from animals very similar to antelope that date as far back as 15 million years ago. 6 million years later, something resembling the modern day giraffe could be found, but it took a further 8 million years to get the species we have currently. The giraffe is the tallest mammal in the world, at 4 to 5 meters, with the tallest ever being up to 5.9 meters, almost half of that height coming from its neck. There's a common belief that giraffes have long necks to help them feed, something that's even taught in schools. In fact, this is commonly used to differentiate between two theories proposed for evolution, one being Jean-Baptiste Lamarck's model and the other Charles Darwin's, the latter of which being the scientifically accepted explanation. In Lamarck's model, or the theory of acquired and inherited characteristics, as it's called, the more an organism uses one of its characteristics, the bigger and stronger that characteristic becomes. And if not used, we essentially have a use it or lose it situation. So in the case of the giraffe, Lamarck would have argued that the giraffe got a long neck by repeatedly stretching its neck to get food higher up in trees, thus making it longer. Subsequently, its offspring would be born with longer necks. Darwin, on the other hand, recognized there is diversity in populations. In this context, some giraffes have genes for slightly longer necks. The longer-necked giraffes were more able to get food, and so more likely to survive and thus pass on their genes, making this characteristic more prominent in their offspring. In this way, eventually the whole population would have longer necks. In actual fact, it may not be that simple, and clues to this are evident from observation of their behavior. Non-South African giraffes, even in cases of food scarcity, don't really bother to look for food high up in trees. It may rather be the case that the males with longer necks were more able to compete for females and thus reproduce, passing on their genes. How do they compete? They fight, of course. This generally involves swinging the backs of their heads into each other's ribs and legs. Now you may have also wondered why they have horns. Those are called ossicones, and they too help them fight, as well as their thick skulls. This is a possible explanation as to why giraffes don't have longer legs, even though they would have essentially the same effect. There is, however, a downside to having such a long neck though. A giraffe's brain is 2 meters away from its heart, so its blood is pumped at a pressure much higher than any other animal. Generally speaking, this type of selection, which is known as intersexual, causes changes in male members of a species, taking for example male lions having manes to attract female lions. This suggests that female giraffes should not have long necks, though they do. However, males have heavier necks and heads, which support the combat idea, as well as the fact that their necks grow all their lives. In conclusion, it is likely a mixture of both as suggested by scientists. Initially, longer necks were selected for in relation to food, and then later, once long enough, competition for mates. If you have a question you want answered, subscribe and let me know in the description down below. Thanks for watching.